Hello, hello. We are back with another portion of Final Fantasy IX, the remaster using the Mockery mod. While we were taking time off between sessions, I hunted down a lot of those chocographs, and we're rich now, so we're gonna jump right on into it and continue on where we left off. The last thing we were doing after hunting down some really good items was a little bit of leveling up, and we've done a little of that behind the scenes. We also made sure that we collected a lot of new items, so we've got about half of the chocographs now, which I think is a good place to be right now. And little Choco is now a deep sea chocobo. The last thing we saw when we were with our pal Choco was they became a red chocobo, which is the mountain one. But as part of that in between, we were able to also immediately find the next one. So super cool, super awesome. But we're picking up here with the story, except I just wanted to show y'all the different color. So we'll just call Choco for a quick second. We're not really gonna go anywhere with it. But you can see that he's now blue. Well, a dark blue. He was light blue before he was a mountain chocobo. And now he can go anywhere he wants in the deep dark sea. He's not restricted to these light areas anymore. He can just go straight into any part of the ocean he well pleases, which for the most part gives us free reign to go just about anywhere on this good map. However, there's still that whole entire forgotten continent at like the bottom left of the map on the screen, and like that doesn't really have any beaches to walk up on. Like this right here, it's all jagged cliffs. And so until we get the super pastel yellow or white chocobo that can fly, we're kind of restricted from not getting on the island, but we have to take the airship to get on and off before we bring Choco with us. However, what we were up to and what we are going to continue on is we just activated all 4 shrines, which has essentially broken down kind of the veil between Gaia, which is the earth or the planet that we reside on, that most of this story has taken place of. And then from there, we are going to head on into whatever this shimmering island type of thing could be, which we now know thanks to exploring in Espen's castle, that we are going to in fact be visiting Terra, which is apparently some other kind of planet, though how they connect or the way that they're related to one another is still unclear. Just that Kuja and Garland, who we know barely anything about, seem to have some kind of ties there. And so we're now all speed ahead, and so there really isn't a way that we can come back from this. This is going to be a pretty, not long, but a stretch of time where we can't just go explore wherever we feel like. Which is also kind of like the subtle warning here. That certain places may become inaccessible later on. This is given some major allusions right now to Final Fantasy X up until this point. The lights on the airship, and here we are now. And now Zidane is finally being confronted by this old man, and he's like, "So you've come, the time at last, the one who..." And meanwhile, Zidane's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Well, what is your name? If you don't know my name, how do you even know your own?" And clearly there's some kind of relationship between these two. Um, and clearly he's just hitting us with a you know nothing, Jon Snow. And he's gone and disappeared. Didn't even notice that the rest of the party wasn't around. So who shall we bring with us? I think we're going to stick with this crew, but basically for the rest of the game. Although we might switch Quina out for Aiko at some point, but who knows? And there goes a girl. With a tail, no less. But of course, naturally, there's always the chance to find treasure, and therefore, I need to go look for that first. When we were finding some of the chocographs, they had given us quite a bit of resources, which is super cool. One of the things that it gave us a lot of was the stones. So you can see, like, we've got a lot of peridot, we have a lot of opal, we've kind of restored our ore supply, which can come in handy later. We just picked up a new wrist, but we seem to already know the ability. So that really isn't going to help us. And from what it seems like so far, I'm kind of just putting together everything. I think Queen already knows all of their abilities possible, but you never know for later. We'll come back to it the further we go on. Now about that girl. She seems quiet. Hello? Everybody in this game likes to run away from you. Why are you waiting? Also, it's very solemn. What kind of beasts will we find on Terra? Oh, they're ugly. Okay, so Quina can eat this, so maybe we'll get a good ability out of it. Ooh, never mind. Freya has the add status ability on her weapon, which is right now the obelisk, and so when you add status, it can sometimes petrify. So only if this ability is on in her ability stat set list. We do seem to be fighting things that are kind of devilish, kind of undead, so maybe we'll pick those to increase her attack, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem regardless. We've got these weird spider webs. Alright, so she's down there, but perhaps there's treasure this way. You don't, if I recall correctly, you don't have the ability to go back to Terra after her. So it's important that we find everything now. Can I eat him? You can, but not until he's weaker. Too much, though. We've got some status effects hitting us. We haven't seen blind in a long time. That's a-okay. Garnet has almost mastered the garnet, which has Bahamut in it, and then we'll be able to get the dark matter that we bought at the auction to get Odin. And we also have this ancient aroma. If we have this ability equipped, although Odin's attack is normally a one-hit kill, if something is immune to that, I believe the Odin sword ability will make it still do damage, instead of just being like, nope, it doesn't do anything, get wrecked. We also get a new item. We already have a mithril racket. But it's appreciated the game is trying to keep us up. Excuse me? You don't remember anything, do you? Huh? By logical conclusion, I think we can assume that they have tails, we have tails. We might be from Terra. Let's see, we see a treasure chest over there. How do we reach it? With these pre-rendered backgrounds, sometimes you can't see the path, but it takes you exactly where we need to go. We also got the Minerva plate, which I believe is a female clothing option. Yeah, and it teaches the high tide ability, but that doesn't help here. However, it can help out Freya, who can learn the Restore HP ability. I do not know what that does, but we're about to find out. Restores HP automatically when near death. Okay, that can be helpful. It's kind of like a healing boost when they're down and almost out. Hello, ugly. It's giving me very it's giving me Dungeons and Dragons. It's giving me like Deep Sea, the Abyss, like the Underdark is calling. Like, very gross. And I guess with all those eyes, it taught me roulette. Now, the cook ability is really good for Quina when they're in trance, because instead of it being 25% or lower to be able to eat them, it becomes 50%. And now that Zidane has mastered auto haste, we can put on, I think, literally anything else right now. So that way we can teach some of the other characters auto haste, because ideally we want every single I almost said student, every single character to have this ability. It makes them faster. It's going to help us make sure that we're essentially going twice every time somebody else needs to go, and we'll make that all happen. Hello? Anybody home? What is this place? It looks like it's got a very temple-esque quality to it, like kind of like the temple we were in before we got attacked by all those red dragon-like creatures. And even Garnet's pointing out, it's like it feels very artificial. And now we're getting some cryptic words from our sponsor. Welcome to Brandball. Hold on a second. What are you talking about? I'm not from here. Oh, but you were. Where have we seen this before? Garnet can remember this from her childhood. The trauma of it all, knocking her clean out. When she lost her mother, her people. And clearly someone's very upset with how Zidane has lived his life thus far. You must go reconnoiter at once. And so without Freya, we'll bring Vivi. It's only fair. Vivi has quite a bit to learn. But I don't believe there's going to be any random encounters in a town. And it's finally clicking. They have tails. Asexual beings would lack the genetic diversity to adapt to environments. So yes, they are male and female counterparts for sexual reproduction. We possess no age. We were built this way. Does Zidane and Vivi share in common a similar practice? Were they created? Another weapon for Armand that we'll never use. Hello, Mr. Moogle. Emerge. Hey, buddy. Moorock, what were you doing inside there this whole time? And you have a shop for me. Wow, that's quite a bit of options. Oh no, I'm poor. Now, we already got a bistro fork. If any of you were paying attention, you would know that we had a silver fork last time we played, but we also caught a few more frogs, and Master Quail was like, I've got something for you. Let's see. Seems like we have a few items to be able to buy, which means we need to get rid of a few items. This is going to be painful, I'm sure. Let's see. We don't need these old things. Naturally, I have no care in the world about Armand's stuff. I don't think we're going to need any of this stuff for a nice, cute synthesis moment. And then, of course, these things don't have any cost to them, so they're just not worth selling. Let's see, there are a bunch of these rising suns that we'll never use. A second red hat. We got 2 demon mail. We don't need that. The dead peppers will come in handy later on if we're going to try the super boss. And I think we have enough money now. Let's see, we need to get this armor for Freya, have a Minerva plate, we need the helmet for her, and we need these 2 hats. And we'll save in a minute, but after we equip these things. Okay, so what's interesting is, although we created Sargatanas, which is supposed to be a super strong item, Terra seems to have even things that are even better than what the synthesis can make. So we'll put the flash hat on. I don't think any of this stuff is going to come in handy right now. Let's see, what else do we got? I don't think we have much else. What we do need to do, though, is we need to take that hat off of Queena, because other people are going to need to start to learn this with the golden hairpin. Super important that people are just going to heal themselves up as they progress. Makes our lives a lot easier. Alright, I think we're in a good place so far. We can save and keep on keeping on, finding out what are these creatures. Why do they speak in such a monotonous behavior? What does it mean that they got built? Clearly they have some care about crystals. A planet's color indicates its shape. Gaia is blue, Terra red. There are something about souls going through the planet. Is it like a reincarnation cycle? They also speak kind of scientific a little bit. Wait, there's a treasure chest in there. Excuse me! Hello! Do you have any medicine? Okay, first of all, I'm fairly certain that's... I don't know, it's pretty androgynous, but they got a six-pack. And yet none of them want to talk to her at all. Is it because she doesn't have a tail? And she's the only one who seems to speak back if you don't have a tail. Where's your man? My man? You don't have a chance. What a bimbo. The comments they leave for each other. I haven't been myself. You're surrounded by people with tails. Princess, you have awoken. I remembered. It wasn't a storm that destroyed my home. It was that ship. It was also the thing that took down Alexandria. We are all connecting the dots. Yes, Steiner, that is in fact the ship that also murdered the queen. Yes, I'm fine. No, you're not. You're still pale. You gotta rest. Shielding the 6-year-old from the truth of the matter, even though they brought her into an active war zone. She said, waiting in the underground laboratory. What a pervert. What would make you say that? Oh, it was just an elixir. So we've been all around town and we can't get through the barrier. So I guess we head to the underground lab. When the blue light becomes red, that is when our souls will enter our bodies. Are they trying to say that they're soulless? That they don't have souls? These triangular box things also look like the object we found in Ibsen's castle. Or no, Olvert, that we found the Gulag Stone in. The Gulag Stone. Hello! How you doing in there? You okay? Oh, you're quiet. Hello? Response value 356. Are you making children and adults? It's weird how their heads follow me like that. But anyway. Hi, lady. I'm so glad you understand. You picked it up right away. There's zombies. They are my peers. We are the genomes. Not just them, but you and me too are called genomes. It is the name of the seed given to us all. Its name is genome. And he's just like, ugh, I've been looking for a home for years, and this is not what I asked for. You guys can process happy? We are made that way. They are made soulless. Because you are special, aren't we all? We are mere vessels. The will of Garland is absolute. That's just how you know you're looking for disaster. Ooh. Oh, I was hoping it was one of the astrological coins. Garland watches over this planet. His mission is to restore the people of Terra. They are merely vessels. The true people of Terra have been asleep for ages. It's kind of like what was that movie called? Passengers with what was that? Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. Just a bunch of people in pods, just sleeping carefully. Except maybe they're like goo, and they're gonna be put inside these genomes. And Terra has always absorbed new planets to survive. So they've tried hostile takeover before, but now they kind of just like assimilate and eat the planet. And Eidolons are part of the process. So there is a form of reincarnation, which is also a very good link to Final Fantasy VII, which is all about the Earth and the Mako and how everything comes together. Besides being a giant allegory for global warming as well. Garland is waiting for me. Apparently, it was my job to cause the end of the world. You can't get up. You're tired. Actually, I wanted to ask you a large and in charge favor. I want you to go and find Zidane. Yes, I'm getting major jealous right now of a thief and all of his little sisters. Oh, Queena. You and I share the same level of social etiquette. Is the stone for a barbecue? You licked the stone! Oh, hi, Queena. Queena has really, just for the most part, for the entire game, just been kind of the person that is just there by happenstance. They don't drastically change the story, but they live in their best life. They're just on a quest for good food. Of course, Master Quail is Q Clan. We same. I mean, you do have some features that match your species, but like, that's about it. Oh, poor Aiko. Somehow, someway, you are our lowest level character. I don't even know how that happened. Excuse me. One built creature to another. Oh yeah, this blue light sure is pretty, isn't it? You like it too? You're all looking at the blue light. The light is unpleasant to us, which is something Zidane said too. And it's the first time that they're actually talking. I'm trying to talk with the natives. This boy here seems to be my age and everything. They won't give you a decent answer. They have no soul. But somehow, someway, Vivi can still make a connection because they are similar. They haven't had the time to create themselves. Hello? Say, Arma, did Zidane go this way? Yeah, seems so. He's got a serious look on his face. I'm trying to say I'll go with you, catch my drift. And so now, obviously, the one thing that I didn't want to happen, and that is being stuck with Arma, has somehow happened. Where are you taking me? I told you. You are going to see Garland. She seems to have a little bit more of a personality, you know? He awaits where the souls sleep, the floating castle where souls bide their time until their restoration. Pandemonium. Oh no, we had enough of that for 2.5 years. I'm good. Imagine being born across enemy lines. Okay, let us just do a quick loop around, you know? First of all, there's a treasure down and around here somewhere. And plus, if we're gonna go into battle, we might as well take some of the characters that we've seen in these ATBs. So that way, we're not just fighting with our two weakest characters. The real question is, how do I get down to you? Hello? Anything? Nope. Perhaps it's somewhere that I can get to after this. Hello, girlie. He went on his own to see Garland. Oh, that's a sinister name. But he wouldn't just leave us hanging. Yes, he went to find out the very reason for its existence. I'm more of like the camp of like, oh, you know, your life is what you make it. I am an enemy of the people, he said as he walked through the gate to Pandemonium. Look at her using direct quotes. Was there any point for me to collect all those people then? Garland's Haunted Mansion. I don't know if we're about to get into a battle, but if we are, it would stand to reason that we would want to just double check that we're all doing the right thing. Seems we're good to go. And we have our fancy little auto haste, auto regen abilities. So, if we have to fight them off, we should be pretty good. Hello! So, we meet again. Who are you? I lost one of my prized genomes. So, if Zidane's supposed to be like 16, they lost him when he was 4, but they haven't changed in size? Because they're built that way? And wait a minute, hold on. You sent me to go and destroy the world. And what if I am the reason why everybody's dead? Tell me your life story. Tell me everything. I don't wish to destroy the entire planet. I just wish to take the entire thing over. What did you just say? Of course, not everything went as planned. You were not supposed to wake up. However, someone must have gotten in my way. Who are you talking about? Oh, you know. Someone you know quite well. Garland and I both speak in riddles, you know. The two of us just love to lay on the drama. The tenseness of the whole situation, you know. I may need your help anyway. But why would you offer to help him? He's the bad guy. Stop. Now tell me everything. And he's like, oh, believe me, I will. Old people, not to lump a whole group into one, you know, entire stereotype, but I would just say on average, older people love to tell you what's on their mind. And I'm going to just assume Garland is super old. So he's just prone to just sharing every secret and story he can. And 24 years ago, he created a genome that was like Zidane, but not the same. His will was too strong, so he's older. An older brother, perhaps. So who is he? Do you not know yet? You and he are so alike. You judge only by appearances. The one I sent to Gaia might also be called your brother, and his name is Kuja. He's only hiding his tail. He denies his own self. I mean, if I had a tail and no one else did, I probably wouldn't want to share it with anybody, really. Yes, you're both very powerful and angry. And it would explain why Kuja didn't try to outright kill you all the time. But there's something wrong with him. He's too ambitious. And that is why Kuja started the war. Not only started it, but created genocide. And what about me? How do I fit into all of this? Oh, so we're supposed to be more powerful than Kuja. Oh, but his ego got in the way, and he thought we would just be killed as part of the... ensemble. So that is why the blood of thousands had to be spilled. And see how Garland is trying to make it like it's our plan. You're part of this. We must sort the souls. Okay, so it's kind of like if they have like a pot of soil, and if they remove all of the soil and refuse to let that soil back into the pot, something still needs to go in it. And so if that is the case, then all of these Terran souls, which might be in these little containers we're running on top of, would be able to take their place in the pot. But the only way to make the soil, aka the souls, leave in the first place is by killing them all. And so it really is a takeover. They're just like, they're planet hopping. They're jumping from one world to the next. And apparently, even though we thought we stopped it, they planted this tree to effectively like reverse engineer, oxygenate. We knew that plant was ugly and deserved to go. Think of it as an observatory, a place to measure the radiance of Gaia and Terra, that whole blue and red kind of thing. But when the blue changes to crimson, all belong to Terra. Kind of changing the souls, I guess. And apparently somehow, some way, the plant judges them or something. So Kuja and Zidane were supposed to both be angels of death. And like Garnet ascending to the throne, so Zidane was intended to do so as well, in a pseudo way, like he's not actually royalty. You are destined to live forever. And he's like, I need a place to call home, which is also incidentally the first song on the original soundtrack for like when you're headed to Alexandria. But you let him stew too long in the Gaian juices, he ain't gonna leave. I thought you would be the perfect new angel of death. And he's like, I am the angel of death, but for you. It's kind of like, um, it's kind of like the Lex Luthor equivalent of like Superboy and Young Justice, or like a brainwashing where it's like you say a special phrase, oop, all of a sudden they can't do anything. Hello, big brother. Dramatic as always. Soon the power will be mine and mine alone. So, as I've said since the start of this playthrough, it always comes down to either mommy or daddy issues. Clearly, Kuja has daddy issues. Who am I? I don't know anything. I cannot think at all. It's as though a shroud has been pulled over his eyes. How very becoming of you. Becoming of me. They're all just talking over him as though he's probably dead. Even Guina has had some character development. There's more to life than food. I mean, I don't know if I agree, but... You were always there for me, and now you're gone. I am an empty vessel. He's been converted. Who am I? Wake up! Ooh! Come on, Sedan, wake up. Found by the children. We were so worried. Why did you come here all by yourself? And they're like, you're our friend. We did it for you. And now he's in a despresso state. Come on, Sedan, don't be like that. Let's... And then he gets mean. You need rest. You're not yourself. There are some things kids just can't understand. And so he becomes the person he's supposed to be. We have this moment of, but will he ever recover? Looks like you need some help. And somehow even Amarant is like, you need support. You're not okay. Although we knew Amarant was going to go down no matter what. How foolish of you to go alone. You are a hypocrite. And he's like, no, I have to do this on my own. I don't need friends. I have no want for family. Steiner, Queena, what are you doing? Taste this! It's through the form of adversity that we find our greatest strengths. And not even calling him a rascal or a mongoloid or anything offensive. He comes to the aid of his friends once again. You can't leave. There's still places for you to take me. And even Stein is susceptible to the fact that you may very well be the one for the queen. He's lost all self-confidence, like even below the level of arrogance we're used to. All the way down to 1 health. Is this how you want to solve your problem? Alone? It really just brings home the point that you don't have to do things alone. Who knew that today on stream we would just be so deep, so dark, so in one's heart? And with love and care and grace, he's He's slowly coming out of it. And even with this sudden understanding that he himself is not who he thought he was, it's, you know, it takes the strength of Garnet to just point out the very obvious truth that it's not of where one comes from, but what one is and what they do that makes a difference. And it's kind of like an intervention of sorts, one that you might even give for somebody who's going through a time like that. Or, in Queena's case, you have not yet shared that succulent frog just yet. And even old Rusty ain't given up on him just yet. They've been trapped. You literally trapped them. Let's head back together this time. And perhaps they'll still be alive. Queen, if you've got nothing, you already know everything on the planet. I can't do anything for you even if I tried. Onwards! Alright. I will never leave your side again. And together they'll stop Garland and this assimilation. Because we're all in this. Or so they've decided at the very least. Together. As one. You've got quite a bit of things to learn, girl. Alright, Freya should be in the front, though. That's important. I've got nothing new to buy, which is such a shame because we really need something new for Garnet. It's also been a hot minute since we saved. Fortunately, the emotional part is mainly over, and therefore we can now go back to kicking their behinds. Is there a secret treasure in here? The Holy Mitre. Which is something, but I don't know what kind of item that is. I honestly have no clue. I'm being completely honest with y'all. What is the Holy Mitre? Is it for a specific character? Does it do something? Hello? What do you do? I don't see it on the list of things here. Maybe I missed it on the key items page? Huh. Holy Mida, where you hiding? We got a Koopo Nut and we never returned it to our buddy. But I'm sure they'll forgive us. What is this? There's a timer. I don't like that. Can you eat a Queena? Yeah, you can. In Final Fantasy X, they made that enemy all the more annoying by essentially removing it. Holy Miter's a hat that has no use for me. See, almost everybody knows Holy Regan. Oh, everybody knows it. Everybody's just going to constantly heal up. This does something. I don't know what it does. It seems to, like, cause an attack even when you didn't ask for one. That's just rude. So it died on time, but it's not clear what it does at all. Also notice, I think this is the first time we've ever seen the mini effect. So you'll see that Zidane had gotten really small in battle, which means like all their attacks do less damage and stuff. It's not the end of the world, but it is a status effect. I don't know what any of these things do, so we'll just move on, I guess. Oh, it seems like we can't move on until we solve whatever this puzzle is. I don't remember it being a puzzle. It's about like getting to the other side without being near the light. It is. That's creepy. All right. I like that. Hello. I don't even know what you're supposed to do with that. I guess we're gonna find out. Oh, okay, so we kind of need to point it in the right direction. Can I, like, have it face us? Yeah, that should be good, I guess. Oh, hey, we did it. That is gross. You know, they're pretty bad, but in Final Fantasy X, they are the worst because, and I'll tell you why, they immediately use Bad Breath on the entire party. And so it hits everybody with status afflictions and you're basically just ready to suffer and die. Garland seems to like a good puzzle. Dragging me all the different places. Hello? There seems to be a few chests here we can grab. And I wonder if that's going to be the Moogle that we're supposed to deliver money to. The mail to, not money. We already have battle boots. We're going to just speed up this section. Okay, so we tried this way. How about this way? Alright, so this is the way out. What the heck was all that about? So a few times in this game we have, seen the beautifully pre-rendered backgrounds doing their jam, doing what they do best. I'm gonna just leave these backgrounds to y'all in whatever way you want to approach your creativity, because, yike. It seems like we come back here through some other means. So we'll just move on. Danger ahead. Do you still want to go on? Absolutely. Danger. I am the angel of death, so danger. Garland is trying to justify the murder that he does. Death is a very large theme in Final Fantasy. Like, just all of them, basically. Who are you? And meanwhile, Sedan's like, you're a sad old grump of man, Garland. We know more than you. We're not perfect, but we have friends. And depending on which characters you bring into your party will depend on kind of what they say in this moment. I exist to eat, but I also exist to live. That is quotable. In fact, that I don't tweet very often, but that just might be a moment for me. I'm going to save that as a cute little picture. Lecture me again when you are on the verge of death. And kind of like Kucha and their silver dragon, Garland seems to have his own dragon. The question is, can we defeat it? I'll summon my dragon if you summon yours. A dragon attack versus a dragon attack. Queen is living their best life. They're flying, they can't be hit by ground attacks. They are just totally living their best life. And that dragon had no chance. None at all. Thank you for your money, dragon. I'm so glad that it carries its own little coin purse. No, that's what the people of Terra want. Why aren't you even asleep with them? Why does Garland exist? And he was created. There it is. He himself is a creature. His heart very clearly on his sleeve. I'm so glad we were able to steal battle boots, of which we now have 3 and have no use for at all. Actually, rather rude of him. Flare's a very strong non-elemental damage attack, but it didn't do anything. And Quina can't be stopped. They're an unstoppable force. Now who's crawling? Now who's down on one knee? Is he about to propose? You fight well. Give it up, Garland. You knew he had this trick up his sleeve the whole time. But what he didn't expect was Kucha to be right there. Fate has chosen me to replace my father. That's basically what he's saying. Very dramatic. I must say I truly love you all. You not only broke the seal to Terra, but did me a favor in defeating Garland. You are a truly extraordinary genome, deserving of my love. That's not a very nice way to greet your brother. Oh, it's all a scheme. Notice how we have not been able to take a break, reset stats, do anything. They are just so ready to take us on and kill us. But fortunately, this right here is the dream team. I know I go pretty quick about it, but if the next time I pull up the summon function for Garnet, you'll see that she only has 2 slots left to learn something. We already know that one of them is Odin. She's got to learn Odin. But the last one is supposed to be even stronger than Bahamut, right? It's the one that I keep using to deal like these massive amounts of damage. And that's really because that one is supposed to be a Terran summon that we already fought before, the Arc. But in order to get Arc, we're going to have to beat a super boss. And I don't know how likely that will be. Also, Kucha really must have a specific hatred to Quina because they haven't attacked anyone else. You call that an attack? Show me your true power. I love witty fighting banter. Finally, someone different. And just like father, so goes down son. But he goes, the time is now! In his own surge of emotions, Kucha has activated trance. Casting Ultima and effectively wiping us out. What do you mean? It's trance. You know how it works. But a normal trance won't be enough to defeat you all. You're all resilient as bugs. Even tiny moogles possess the power of trance. I just needed to borrow the power from wretched souls that can't die. And so he stole energy from a stolen pocket of energy and effectively put himself into a very strong, almost everlasting version of trance. Oh. Any last words? Your power is meaningless. I'll make you pillars for my castle. You'll decorate my castle as a signal to my eternal kingdom. You could never build an eternal kingdom. And yet somehow Garland survived his fall. Oh, your lifespan is limited. You'll be dead soon, even as I die. You'll have died without ever leaving your mark on the world. Now, Daddy. Now, Father. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. You got the last laugh somehow. But your son, Kuja, did in fact leave his mark on the world by committing not just one or two versions, but 3 types of genocide. You are mortal. You have a finite lifespan. I'm gonna die. Kuja is having a life crisis right now. Everybody needs to come to terms with, just, being on the edge of your own destruction. And naturally, he's like, I refuse to die. I absolutely refuse it. I can't fathom it. It's just not possible. He's gonna go on a stepped plan, trying to figure out how he can beat death, but doesn't always work that way. And so naturally, instead of just accepting that death is an inevitable part of life, Kuja just says, you know what, if I'm dying, everyone needs to die. And so as he tears the world asunder, he revels in knowing that he won't be alone. It's very powerful. We gotta get out of here before everything collapses. But we need to get the injured out, too. I'm coming with you. We've got a species to save. And in a role reversal, for once, the woman is looking after the man in an area of dire need. No machismo here. It's just, he's like, I'm in. Watch over me, girl. Which is nice and sweet and all, but like, please don't die. Let's see, what do we want to add first? I guess we'll learn how to summon Odin. Let's go! Can I go this way? No. And everything is exploding all around us. And naturally, the eyes. They're just eyes. It's okay. She's become very bold. About what happened earlier. I feel like I'm being watched. Oh, you are. Communicating emotions? Queen and Armand know my lifestyle. I don't run for nobody. Maybe I'll eat the eyeball. Queena, you better hurry up or you'll be left behind. I happy we leave. No good food anywhere. Me and an event. Oh, Mrs. Genome. I think it's time that we leave. We gotta go. It's enormous. Oh, where's Queena? They found a secret way in. Why were you underneath the ship in the first place? Save it for later. We've got to go. We gotta go, girl. You're not just empty vessels. You don't really believe that. I asked myself the same question. No, I didn't find an answer, but to try and find it is just as important. What's your name? Garland gave you a name, didn't he? My name is Mikoto. You'll have to find a new place to live, but there's a whole world out there, girl. He'll be here anyway. He was looking for the last genome. We need to leave. And somehow we've been upgraded. We now have a whole new airship. Kuja wanted it so bad and it's now ours. And we are riding in the exact thing that has traumatized the Summoner tribe. It's Pride Month. Head to the rainbow. You did it. I see the little treasure chest. I don't know about the rest of you. Well, I was talking to Amaranth earlier, and no, this is not the end. What will he do next? He'll probably try to destroy our home. There was one thing Garland said, something about a tree that serves as a gateway. That must be the Aoife tree. Come with me, you must look. I can't describe it, it is important that you see. They're just clouds. It's not a normal cloud. What? Let's lower our altitude and see. Don't you see? We are already at low altitude. It's mist. Mist has somehow returned to the planet and covered the entire surface. What is he planning? Well, we kind of know what he's planning, but more, how is he going to do it? Oh, Mr. 288. We're so glad that you made it. Of course it is. This was Vivi's idea, to integrate the genomes and the black mages. They are both shell-like creatures that are just learning their very own sense of self. Your friends are our friends. And this is also technically the start of Disc 4. So, we're 75% of the way through, or even more than that. There are very few things that you need to do story-wise. This is Bobby Corwin, the Chocobo, our friend. What do we think about pets being named human names? Like having a Chihuahua and naming it Philip. I do think there's a level of comedy for it, but at the same time, I'm not really for it. It just makes things too confusing if there's other people with that name in the room. Bobby Corwin, come back! Why do you display these items? For the customers, I think. Well, they bring money, and they hand money over to the shop, and then, what is money? World's very simple place. There are only two things you need to know. What can you eat, and what can you not eat? Time flows just like water. They are like children playing. Of course, we must at least try. What are you talking about? Guja must have done something to the Aoife tree. Do you not think it wise to consult Regent Sid before the final battle? That should have been in blue text. I need Uncle Sid to protect Lindblom. We must defeat the enemy on our own. They gotta set up the stage. You haven't got a chance, you know, Mikoto says. That's okay. The girl knows a lot of difficult words. She's a bit cynical, but, you know, take good care of her, won't you? How silly. So I think we're going to just keep the same group. We're living our best lives. There's no reason to change the formula right now. Um, there really is only two more things to do. That's enter the final dungeon and get up to good old um, our good old friend Kuja. The final dungeon is actually located through this area, um, and we'll get to it. I promise, we'll get to it. But the first thing we want to do is we just want to go to a few different locations. We want to go to this place right now because there might be some additional unlockables to get, and that's important to us. Um, we also want to see where we can and can't go. There are certain places where, um, now that we're on the fourth disc and the mist has returned, we can't really do anything in those places. It's kind of been blocked off. I think we have now every custom item in the game except for the rebirth ring, um, and the thief gloves, which is really just a money issue as opposed to anything else. We don't have a diamond, and the only way for us to really get a diamond is by meeting the other friendly creatures, I believe. I've got 10 aquamarine. Aquamarine is the thing we used to summon Leviathan, but we already have one of those. So I don't exactly know what it's trying to have us do. It's also been a while since we saved, so we're going to do that real quick. Now we can go to, like with hardly any issue, we can go to, oh no. For some reason we're healing it. We can go to Memoria, which is the name of the last place, but it is full of a few difficult enemies, so we're gonna just hesitate for a little bit. We can also see that certain places are now blocked. We can't go here. We can't go to Olvert. We can't go to, let's see. There are a few other places that we can't visit anymore. They kind of like blocked us from being able to get to them. So we can still go to, the Aoife tree. We can't go on the pass anymore. That's like a thing that they've blocked off. We can still like see them on the map, but we can't go visit this, the place where we got married. The cave that took us from one continent to the other has been blocked. I think the reason why they did this was kind of like along the lines of needing to save space for the fourth disc. And that's kind of why they did it. We can't go through any of the gates anymore. They've all been blocked off. Fortunately, we can still go to Dolly, but we can't go and see Mars anymore. That's been blocked off. The Ice Cavern, all these places are now just inaccessible. We can still go to all the main cities. We can go to Trano, we can go to Lindblum, we can go, elsewhere. We've got, a few places that we haven't had the opportunity to go visit yet. And that's okay, because we're gonna take a peek right now. One of them is a pretty important area. This place is called Quan's Dwelling, and what we want to do is we want to come here with Vivi. It's like super important we bring Vivi to this particular location, because when we go inside with Vivi, there's going to be a point where we're going to have a cutscene with him that if he was not with us, we wouldn't be able to have. We also just found the Scorpio coin, which is great. Ooh. Deal with that in a minute. And so there's this place right here that looks like a home maybe, or something like that. Um, However, if we recall, there's uh, there's like some reference to this area before. This clock has something going on. It says, oh, this clock stopped. It stopped about a week before we kidnapped Dagger. How does it know the date? I don't really know. But this is where Vivi kind of grew up with his quote unquote grandpa. Um, I actually don't know how to trigger the exact thing, but tis a choice. We need to get over here now, though. I seem to be having a weird stick issue, though. It won't let me turn around. This is a very strange phenomenon. It also seems to have gotten rid of the airship. Okay. Alright, and so now we found a bunch of items, which is great. And brought us back to where we were. That was really weird. It didn't let me like move us or anything the way that you normally could. We found a few items, which is great. We got some more pieces. This pumice piece will come in handy later on. But the main thing that we got is this new tiger racket that teaches Dispel. This can be useful for Aiko, but it's got a good attack amount, so we're gonna put that on right now. Did we get anything else that's good? No, we're just kind of coasting along. There's writing on the wall here. Someone measured height here. 6 months since I adopted Vivi. Still too small to eat. So I'm not sure what I exactly need to do, but that's the reference there. Oh, actually, we also know that here on the ship we've got a treasure chest open. So now we found Scorpio and Pisces. So we can go back to Trano. And this is also like where you can come and like talk to like party members about like what's the latest happening. Nothing too crazy, but gives a little bit more context to what's going on. So we can go to Trano now. We can also check in at Dolly. This might be a chance for us to be able to collect that money I keep talking about, but eventually we'll be able to get to. So there's, the mayor's house. He's finally not in this room, which is good because now we can kind of explore and grab things. And there was a way to be able to get into his like little stash here, be able to get some money. There's also like a key you can use. But to get the key, you have to do something. Although I'm completely drawing a blank on what it is. So now we're heading to the Stelazio Birdwoman to collect some more of our rewards. We're still missing a few things. I don't know if we'll have the ability to grab them, but we've collected quite a bit of them, especially when we're not particularly looking for them. We received 9. We're looking for 3 more. I think one of them is in Memoria, but where's the other 2 are, I haven't got a clue. We can also check back in on, this area. There's a new beast down there. We can give that a go. We can also check out the auction. We now have we have a fair bit of money. We don't have a lot, but 52,000 should be able to get us something, if there's anything good. And not every single one of these shops, but some of the shops will have upgraded what they've offered and also listed things that you might have missed. Although we've been pretty good on that the entire time. Okay. So it's very clear that we're not ready to take on the latest creature. We defeated creatures 1 and 2, but whatever this is clearly is a little bit out of our range, and that's okay. They have a griffin's heart, a dote, and they have the thief gloves. So these other things, like, we can grab them. They're not a big contention point. And we can jump in here and be like, oh, we want it. But if somebody outbids us too much, like, I'm not gonna demand it. You can have it. These artifacts are key items, but you don't need them for the game. They're kind of just here. They're like slightly brag rights. They might have some kind of purpose, but not one that's massively noticeable. Now, if we can get the thieves' gloves under 50,000, that means we've gotten a steal, because although we can make them in the synthesis shop, we won't have to use our items and we won't have to pay the full amount if we can get them. So this is like an alternative way to get it, especially if you're not good at figuring out how the synthesis part works. But very clearly the numbers are going up pretty high. They're at half price. And we got them for 15,000, less than we normally would. So those are now in our little pocket. And I just gotta find out where they're hiding to be able to equip it. So now Zidane can learn Master Thief, which is right here. And he'll steal better items as part of the process. We don't particularly need the ability right now, but it can come in handy if we're trying to impress our good friends, Alleyway Jack, who has a secret name. And when you combine that with like Bandit and Mug, you've got a little something going on. We can see Choco's just living their best life here, no worries. And I think what we're gonna do is we are going to go to the Aoife tree. We're gonna head on over there, and we're going to try to get through a big part of Memoria. Not a large. I don't know if we'll finish today. We might, but we'll just about find out. This could be the very end. We're also like in the right level range. Like typically I think Memoria is something you approach when you're about level 50. So 47's not that bad. If you ever watched Dragon Ball Z, it's kind of like giving off Spirit Bomb vibes. Except massive dragon creatures are flying out of it. And even though it seems like we didn't tell Lindblom, they still have brought artillery to this fight. All ships, clear a path for the Invincible. Uncle Sid? How did he know to show up here? And even Alexandria has showed up. Even in their weakened state, Beatrix has pulled on through. and even though Steiner's Knights have not always been the most effective, they at least know why they're really there. Quite a woman you fell in love with. You're one to talk. Wait a minute, Steiner, what did you mean by that? As though she has no clue. And naturally, entering the final dungeon will be guarded by a boss of some sort. A dragon with a sword on its head. So we're learning Odin right now, but naturally it doesn't typically work on bosses. And what's upsetting is it seems that Freya is missing one of her abilities. What we're doing right now is like, yeah, of course we're having a final battle, but also notice that when you summon an Eidolon, the regenerative abilities that they have continue to play. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's just a matter of like it's happening. And so even if you don't like the summons too much in this game, if you have long animations to use, you're effectively protected as long as they keep healing themselves. They took me out. So obviously we don't seem to then be ready to enter a Memoria. We're probably just a few levels below. Not a big deal. We'll live. We'll go on. Now the thing is, or the issue that we have right now is that we might not be able to continue successfully if things continue on the way that they're going. So we'll give it another go. We'll see what is happening. And, you know, if we don't do it, then we'll just pick up next time. It's not a big deal. I'll do all the grinding on the behind the scenes. make sure it's going through. That's fine. Maybe we'll try things in like a little bit of a backwards way. Although I think I kind of ended up just messing up ourselves a little bit. Things are not going our way right now. No! Alright, so we were able to take down the dragon. So sometimes there are victories. However, if that is like a telltale sign of what's been going on, then it's possible that we might not be in the best scenario to be able to beat out Memoria, which is fine. I don't hear anything. Zidane, can you hear me? It's Garland. I am speaking to only you. Memoria, it is a place of memories. Here you shall witness the entire truth. So what I love is that in most games, people keep secrets. They don't tell the truth, like what's going on. So important to just tell what's up, especially when it's entirely relevant to what's been going on. Yeah, our characters are a little low. I'll work on getting everybody up and up of where they need to be. But I'll get us at least into the castle. We can see that we can return to the Invincible at any time, and then this little thing kind of replaces the Moogles for the rest of this area. There aren't any like Moogles per se in Memoria, and so what we're gonna do is we're gonna save here right now. We'll catch up on the ability for us to get to those other places and do those other things. And that's where we'll pick up next time. We still got 2 hours in. Part 9 should us be able to like basically beat out and end the game. And then maybe part 10 will be us, really trying to beat Ozma, the super boss. So I think that's where we're going to go. There's still plenty more fun to be had. Maybe we'll get a little bit further with the Chocobo, and then we'll see what's up. So thanks for hanging out. See you next time. And we'll make sure that we finish this on a high note. See you, everybody.